Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es intimidez. Como la ven, no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no he hecho, no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo, mujer. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé, vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar.
I know that I just met you, but you look, oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you.
Shout out to the CIA.
It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. To the end of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting
Nat, do me a favor.
into.
Put in the chat room your age,
Nothing can stop
your
me.
gender,
No.
and your city.
I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
Let's get it.
I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe.
Shout out to everybody from B. Simone's channel.
To the edge.
Shout out to the folks from Wild and Out.
So
Just
tell
tell
your
you.
good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. 'Cause I'm
Nat, do me a favor.
susceptible.
And I want to talk about
Before the moment flies.
B. Simone is getting drugged for filth.
So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
And I got a question. For all the guys who are ticked off at what B. Simone said, I want to know why y'all so angry. Is she right or is she wrong? But before we get into it, what's going on, people? My name is Kevin Samuels. I'm an image consultant for men and women. I'm a corporate and a professional image consultant. Fragrance reviewer, all-around lifestyle aficionado. And if you can find it on GQ, if you can find it in the magazine GQ, you can find it over here. And me personally, I hold men to a high standard. A very high standard, as well as because hell, I think we should be. Now, I want to go ahead and play this clip. Yeah, let's play this clip here. How many of you guys in the chat room are familiar with a woman by the name of B. Simone? If you're familiar with her, put it up in the chat room. If you're familiar with her, put it up in the chat room. Put it in the chat room because we're about to go in. Now, B. Simone is getting hammered across the internet for something she said when she was sitting around talking to none other than Nick Cannon. But instead of me trying to tell you about it, I'm going to let her say it in her own words.
Wait that up. You won't.
Why in the heck did that do that? Let's go.
I'll set it up, have it there, and I'll make sure, I'm gonna make sure security is right, so ain't no crazy niggas pulling up on you.
Okay.
Like, I will give you, I'm gonna do this. B. Simone.
So I can't know who the guy is, but the guy has to know he's coming on a date with me.
Yes, of course. Now,
Okay.
now I need to hear the prerequisites. I need to hear
Fair
what
use.
do they have to have.
A
Tall.
little older.
Older. What's the
Older.
age?
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not?
There, she got in all kind of trouble when she said that statement right there. He cannot have a 9 to 5. He cannot have a 9 to 5.
You don't want him to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like
he can't
clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn,
I
B.
think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not gonna understand my lifestyle. You're not gonna understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
Damn, you're making this hard for me. Okay, all right.
You know, he has to be an entrepreneur,
a business owner. He getting one of them stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
Or moving into that direction.
Yeah. All right, I got you. Okay, a business owner.
Support rollerball.
Why did it just do that? Oh my God. I don't know why it's doing this. But that's what she said. Nick Cannon was going back and forth with her, talking about, hey, I'm going to hook you up and I'm going to set you up. And basically, she came in and said, off the rip, he cannot be a 9 to 5 guy. He can't be a 9 to 5 guy. He has to be an entrepreneur, or else he would not understand the kind of things that she's going through and her mindset. Now, I want everybody in the chat room, all the men in the chat room, if you agree with what she said, put a 1 in the chat room. If you disagree, put a 2. Just the men. And let's understand, you know, I've heard people kind of trying to clarify what she meant, you know, from a 9 to 5 job. Anybody who's not an entrepreneur, I've heard somebody say, is a 9 to 5 job. And she subsequently came in and tried to clarify what she was talking about. That's what she did. She subsequently came in and tried to clarify what she was talking about. My question is she wrong for saying what she said? I'm seeing all these ones. What are all these ones for? All the guys in here are saying, you know, she was wrong for saying this. I want to know why. Why is she wrong for saying what she said? What did she say that was so wrong? Because, you know, I've made videos talking about how women overlook blue collar men and this and that. But are women like B Simone wrong? I mean, let's take B Simone out of it. I mean, let's be realistic, guys. She's in entertainment and she's a millionaire. But we've also heard this kind of sentiment coming from women who have master's college degrees, in particular graduate degrees, masters, PhDs. I'm successful. It's the hypergamy argument. And I want to know why. All right, Jazzy Jeff, here's what's not going to happen today, man. You're not going to come in here and do what you did yesterday. If I see you in the chat room just going ham, ranting, I'm going to just go ahead and boot you, dude. I don't want you spamming my chat yesterday. Everybody gets one day, but that's it. I want to know why you guys are so upset at this woman for saying this. When I just yesterday did a broadcast talking about high value men and the women they want, keep, and marry. And I said that high value men purposely segregate themselves away from non-feminine, uncooperative women. And so you had no problem when I was talking about high value men having their standard and separating themselves from people who weren't on their program. But then I'm seeing some of you same guys who were big up in that yesterday, And when this woman who's a millionaire comes in and starts talking about what she doesn't want, you got an issue with it. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. I want to know from you guys. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting some things in the chat room because I'm not gonna have a bunch of BS today. All right. So, who is B Simone? Go do your homework. I'm not gonna. I mean, you know, she's a. Go do your homework. I mean, you came in the show asking who B Simone is. I mean, why are you here? And I mean, seriously. But at the end of the day, she is a woman who has earned quite a bit of money. She's officially a millionaire, and she can have her standard. And I came at this from a couple of reasons. One, I don't think she's wrong for wanting what she wants. See, and the guys who have a problem with what she says, you're hypocrites, especially if you're in these manosphere spaces, because some of these guys are the same guys that will sit around and talk about a man's right to choose. You can deserve to want a 10 or nothing. It's a free country. You can want what you want. You can want what you want. That's how this thing works. If that's her standard, that's her standard. That's her standard. And if it bothers you that she's actually saying 9 to 5, factory, blue collar, oh well. Oh well. But here's the other side of it. Well, let me say this. B Simone is actually has her profession listed as an actor. And if you see her, you know, she is not an unattractive woman. Let me go ahead and throw her up on, let me see if I can throw some stuff up with her on it. She's not an unattractive woman. But where she gets herself into trouble is, I think B Simone has overestimated her actual true value. She's overestimated her actual true value. See, this is where women like B Simone, women who are highly educated, women who earn a lot, have advanced degrees, tend to screw yourselves up. You tend to overestimate yourself. And you are trying to get men to value you the same way we value women. No, that's not how it works.
You don't want to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustler.
This is B Simone. This is B Simone, okay? She's not an unattractive woman, okay? She's not an unattractive woman by any stretch of the imagination. And we all know, I'll put it this way. I know good and doggone well that if you guys had the kind of money that this woman has,
Baby girl, baby boo.
Let's go ahead and watch this video. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use.
Everything in my life, I have manifested it. These edges, they were gone as fuck. Manifested them back. Okay, this waist. It's getting there. I'm still hungry. I'm not eating. I'm eating air, but I'm manifesting. I believe one day.
Okay, we can see right there. She is, obviously, she is not a size 4. She's not a size 6. She ain't seen 4 or 6 since she was probably like 8 years old. She's got a waist trainer on. You know? And from what I know of her, she's a solid 6. And therein lies the problem with women like B. Simone. Understand something. The kind of men you say you want, the entrepreneurs, the hustlers, the guys who are, first off, let me be real. I'm gonna have to say something that's gonna probably tick a lot of black folks off, especially in entertainment, but I don't care. The world, it's not the same. Becoming rich, becoming a millionaire in entertainment is not the same as becoming a millionaire on Wall Street. It's just not. The money spends the same. I get it. But the esteem that comes along with actually having to earn money versus being talented, those are two different things. I spoke about that yesterday when I talked about, how different people make their money. Like it or not, people judge. And honestly, no one takes actors and entertainers seriously outside of their craft, which is why we have such a problem in black community when you got athletes and entertainers speaking for us on political matters. No. So, if B. Simone were not an entertainer, if she just was a regular woman who went to college or whatever, you'd be qualifying for a dude that's probably around high 5 figures. High 5 figures would be best you're gonna get. You're a 6. You're a 6 on your best day. Because that weight that's on you only goes north. So all this entrepreneurialism and all other kind of stuff, no, ma'am, it doesn't work that way. Let me take it off B. Simone and let me give you a different example. Jill Scott. Would anyone say that B. Simone is more talented than Jill Scott? We got 836 people watching. We only got 250 likes. Man, come on, man. Look, man, we got folks over at the house, man. We got more people coming over here. Y'all not going to embarrass me. We got company coming over here. Welcome to everybody who's here for the first time. We're going to need to get these likes up over 600. And we're going to need at least 20 people to throw something in there. 836 people and one person's donated. Oh, no, we'll shut this shit down. You broke ass. No. Oh, hell to the no. Oh, hell to the no. To the no. To the no. Y'all know what happens next. Get the likes up. Come on. I will shut the comment section down if the likes do not get over 600 and we don't have at least 10 people drop something here. Oh, here we go. Let's shut this the chat room down. Y'all, you think I'm playing? I ain't playing with them. I will go to the slow songs next. I will go to the slow songs next.
Here we go, I put this miserable song on repeat, 'cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't.
That room is now off.
You just don't. You don't care, 'cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me?
That room is now off.
You should know your time is up. I'm out, I'm done. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence. And you'll
That
no
room
longer
is
feel my
off.
presence.
Only
So I thought I
available
would
to
let
members
this
now.
slip. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence.
Thought y'all knew me
So
better
now you
than
never
that.
feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip.
Thought you knew me so
Thought
much
you knew me so much
better.
better.
Thought you knew me so much better. What? Members only chat. Oh man. That means we can't talk? Right. You want to talk? Let's get them up over 6.
Your words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so loud. No, that's right. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought.
We'll stay here. There we go. We're getting there. Oh, we got 7:30? Okay. Cool. Either or can happen. We can get the likes up or the people can leave. All right. See, what a lot of people don't like about what Simone did is she set a value on herself. She set a value on herself, and kudos to you, sis, for doing it. Anybody who's going around talking about she shouldn't have said this and she's dragging 9-to-5 men. That is not what that woman said. She did not insult factory workers. She didn't insult blue collar workers. She didn't do any of that stuff. So anybody saying that, you're a freaking liar. And you need to knock it off. That woman didn't say anything insulting to any 9-to-5 guy. And more importantly, what she truly said is she wants men like you. She wants men like you. CIA men. Confident, intelligent, assertive. She wants entrepreneurial type men. And what does she say? I want a man who understands when I'm in the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning responding to text messages, he's doing something for the same. I completely understand it. And guys, you know the same thing. You want someone on your level, equally yoked. The problem, B. Simone, is when I said Jill Scott. See, the problem is you are a 6 at best. You're cute. You're not Fallout fine. And you're thick. Voluptuous. I'll give you that. Thick, voluptuous, okay? The men who have to go make it, I'm not talking about the athletes and the entertainers. I'm talking about Blake Henry. Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, and Enrique. My Henrys, the Henrys, the Blake Henrys, the Blue Henrys, the guys who have to get out there and hustle and compete and work against other people. When they get up to that high earning amount, when they get up to the millions, when you got a man who's making 7 figures, he's not picking a woman based upon her being an entrepreneur. He's not picking a woman based upon her hustling. He's picking a woman based on feminine beauty, inspiration, submission, cooperation. And this is the problem a lot of you so-called boss bees, you driven kind of women have. You are trying to choose men like men choose women. Sorry. This is why you see high earning entertainers marrying 9-to-5 guys, because that's the only thing your looks qualify you for. So, due respect, B. Simone, I think you're off base. If you're judging, you think that you can go out and do it like men, and you can't. You need somebody like myself to help you craft a PR damage control statement. What you would be better off saying is, I prefer dating a man who's corporate, who's entrepreneurial. That means you could date an accountant, a physician, an attorney, someone who went to college and has their own business and they went white collar. Or if you decide to date a Blue Henry, that who could own their own logistics firm, their own electrical contracting firm, building contractors. See, the problem with women like B. Simone is you don't understand how men make money. Number one. Number two, because due respect, you make your money as an entertainer. If that did not exist, if this were the world it was 300 years ago, where entertainers, musicians, and all they could really do, that did not used to be a viable career path. People will go from town to town singing for their supper. Entertainers have never been high earners. They were a step above begging. Unless you were a master painter like Leonardo da Vinci or something like that, of which you had patrons. So don't get this whole internet fame and all this other kind of stuff Get out, make your money, do everything you have to do. But when it comes to mating and dating, that does not matter for women. That's the problem many women have. Many women want to be able to bring that to the table and say, well, yes, I'm a 6 in looks, but I'm a 9, or I'm a 6 in looks, but I'm a 10 in my income potential. Sorry. You can come in, you can hang in VIP with us. But I mean, have anybody ever asked us? I mean, think about it. Slow mode is on. That's what it comes down to. I'm gonna open up the call line, let everybody sound off. Remember, keep it respectful. And also, let me go ahead and play the rest of this.
It'll be little. I do. Everything I have, my dream career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle.
I'll tell you right now, all this stuff would drive the average Blake Henry up the wall. No. You're doing too much to be able to land a true high value man. And you need to be able to hear this, because this can be worked with. I mean, you're not an unattractive woman, but you're talking as if you are a 10. From a straight up looks standpoint, you're all out of line with this, sis. You're not a 10 from look standpoint. I mean, but understand, this is not an unattractive woman. And I am down for her saying her standards. But what you do, ma'am, is in a very real way, you price yourself completely out of the market. That is what you do. You price yourself completely out of the market when you start talking like this. I need a man who's on my level, and I need a man who's this. I need a man who's that. I need a man who's this. I need a man who's that. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. But the men who have all the stuff that you need, why do they want you? Why do they want a B. Simone? Why do they want a Jill Scott? Why do they want any of that when they could have a Phoebe or a Gidget? When they can have, why would they want any of this stuff? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, she sounds like a turkey. Listen to that.
To do with money, everything to do with lifestyle. Okay? Career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has to do with money.
You need an entrepreneur. Sis, you're an entertainer. A very good one. But it's not like, in times of national emergency, the world, the country turns and says, what's going on Wild 'N Out? What's B. Simone saying? It's not like you're a C-level executive. It's not like you're running a major organization, employing anybody. You're an influencer. I love it. You're a $1 million influencer. I will be one too. Hashtag Millionaires Club. We're going to make this happen. Oh, and understand, in order to make it happen, this audience will continue to grow. And it's going to diversify. If you think I only service black people, wrong. Shout out to O'Shea was talking about Young Pharaoh. And Young Pharaoh, black woman is God, dude. Now I got 10, 12,000 people watching his videos, and now he's all of a sudden United Colors of Benetton. Yeah. Black men, you better be prepared to sell out. Because that's what it's going to be called. You're going to sell out. Yeah, broaden your horizons. Like it or not, YouTube, these platforms are not with 13% of the population. I am not going to limit myself to 13% of the money. And so I'm not going to cut out women. So tomorrow's stream is going to be talking about why women are not the enemy. So yeah, you dudes better get your shit together. I don't know what that is. He said, I'm not black. Congratulations. Welcome. She contributes nothing to mankind except humor.
Everything to do with lifestyle, okay? When I'm in the bed at 3 a.m. checking emails, what you doing, babe? Working? What you doing? Working? Okay, love you. You want to hop on a flight tomorrow? I have a meeting in out of town. You want to go? You got? Okay, let's go. Okay, you understand my life? You understand what I'm going through?
I got a meeting tomorrow, so and so and so. No, men like this can't just hop on a flight to go follow you for some meeting in BFE. They have deadlines and forecasts and finance calls. They have meetings with the street. They got to go talk with new investors. R&D has something going on. There's a new product launch. There's a problem in the factory in China. They got real issues. They cannot just pick up and go live an influencer's life like I just did from Buckhead, live from life with our camera. See, that's the difference, young B. Simone 30. I actually was in corporate America. And that's a problem with a lot of you young influencers. You have never had to do anything real in your life. You've never had to go out and actually work amongst people. So you've got to twist it and think that all someone has to do is just become an entrepreneur. And then they could be a millionaire just like you. And the reality is your career, while you may be extremely talented, your looks have helped you gain a following. If you look like Precious, I guarantee you, you would not be a millionaire on this day. And my point is, understand some humility is kind of needed for you ladies. Humility is needed because really, the way y'all talk, wow.
Want to manifest that? What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there. What do you want? Let's manifest it, baby. You can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. Manifest that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong.
Let me talk about this other silly, stupid shit these women talk about. Manifest, like just reading The Secret. See, you can tell a woman who never really doesn't understand men. Men cannot manifest their way into VIP. Men have to become a VIP. Men cannot just think and grow rich. Men have to think, work, and grow rich. We cannot just get by on our looks and our cleavage. We actually have to do things. Hashtag show your work. So you sitting around talking about I manifested my edges and I manifested this and I manifested that. That's cute. But you don't manifest a Fortune 500 company. You build one. And it's built with hard work, long-term thinking, consistency, structure, discipline. Everything that women are not by nature. Let's fly off to Dubai or whatever for a meeting. And that sounds sexy to you. You can just jump and jump and jump. Yeah, you have no responsibility. You have no structure. See, the men who make the kind of money you're talking about have tremendous amount of structure around them. So yes, it may seem 9 to 5 may seem boring to you, which is why so many of women like you end up dealing with D-boys or athletes and entertainers because they also have that individual earning potential that does not require a lot of structure. And where does that lead? To exactly where Jill Scott is, single. Now see, B, if you were not a sister, show me where your white female influencers are moving the way you are, talking about 9 to 5 men the way you are. Unfortunately, many of you sisters talk like you're better than You talk as if you believe you're truly better than black men. And that's what the world hears. This is another black woman talking as if she's better than all of black manhood. And other groups of women laugh at you because they know they would never say anything as foolish as what you're talking about. Because all it takes for you to come down to reality, B. Simone, is one wrong post. You are one viral video away, one internet canceling away from being back at Forever 21 selling shit. Female influencers like you are a dime a dozen. The industry eats women like you up. No different than, adult models. I mean, what are you bringing to the marketplace that's never been there before? You're not disrupting the market. You're just the flavor of the day. And what you really need is a structured, solid man to actually root you down and saying, okay, in this 36-month time frame you're going to have, let's maximize all of this and let's take everything you can make now and let's grow it to where it does not have to, you won't have to continue to try to be this 30-year-old something. How many 40-year-old influencers do you see running around like you? You're 30. You've got 2 years left before you age out. What, you think you're going to have somebody around you, young, who's going to have that kind of wisdom? Let's get it. Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to open it up. I mean, I like I said, I don't fault her for wanting what she wants.
Wrong with an entrepreneur ass nigga. Manifest whatever you want. I want to manifest an entrepreneur ass husband. I don't care what you do. Entrepreneur. Graphic designer, sell t-shirts, sell drugs, rapper.
See? Entrepreneur husband. And where did she go to? I don't care what you do. Sell t-shirts. She didn't say a franchise owner. She didn't say, actually have a real career. What did she say?
I'm becoming rapper, D-list. I don't give a fuck. Entrepreneur, okay? At this point, I'm about to rebuy my book. I'm about to rebuy my book so I can manifest my husband. Whatever you want, you can manifest it. Link in bio. Book just restocked. We will sell out. Good luck.
What'd she say? I don't care. Sell t-shirts. Sell this, sell that. And you knew it was coming. Sell drugs. Become a rapper. You deserve to get drugged for that stupid shit you just said. Because if you're a millionaire talking like that, you're a high-class hoochie. You're a high-dollar hoochie at this point. Your money has outpaced your class. And I mean that. Your money has outpaced your class. Classless. For you to be a million dollar woman who owns businesses and all the other kind of stuff, talking about you don't want a 9-to-5 guy. You'd rather have a dude that sells t-shirts or CDs or is a drug dealer or a D-list rapper. I understand you're a comedian, but in all comedy, there's a bit of truth. That's why you're getting drugged over here. See, women like you, I got no problem with your standards. But you, women like her, are the kind of women who end up at 37 years old wondering why they can't find a good man. Where are all the good men? And then you start asking them, and over the course of their life, they had many opportunities. This is another Buffalo Bill. This is a BB. This is a BB right here, a Buffalo Bill. Another Buffalo Bills. Scott Norwood in the house. How many people know what the Buffalo Bills are? She's a Buffalo Bill. And then be wondering why can't I find a good man? Well, because Nikiba been over here listening, because the sisters over on my mixed group, they over here listening. And they realize that, you know what? The way you talk about men turns men off. I might want to hear that mess. Men are not just just a walking I don't want to say a walking wallet, because I don't mind, leading with your wallet. Look at the video. Before you judge it, look at the video. No. Not one of these BBs. Nope, no BBs over here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to open the call line. You are welcome to call in, gentlemen. Oh, gentlemen, you are welcome to call in if you like. You are welcome to call in if you like. Oh, gosh. Who wants to call in? Who wants to talk about this? Because I know some guys like, oh, yeah, man, I've been waiting all day. I knew you was going to talk about it. Hey, man, she's not too far. I mean, the problem is she's wasting time. She's wasting time. Understand. Here are the rules. When you call in, I don't want to hear your life story. You got 30 seconds to make your point and keep it moving. I'm running a show. When you call in, you need to close down the only thing you need to be on is Zoom. Don't be watching yourself on the YouTube channel, looking in the chat room. Don't have me on speakerphone or Bluetooth. Get a headset on or be on the phone. Pay attention, please. All right. While we're getting the call-in line going, I mentioned my Facebook group over there. It's called The Mix. Get up in the mix. Well, we actually have cool engagements every day. Cool engagement. The Mix is not for everybody. It is a private club. It is a private club. It is a private club. If you want to get into membership here, you got to show up here. And here is the thing. In order to be in the group, you have to show your face. No, dude, I don't want you calling my show, dude. Tyreek, I told you never to call my show again. Little boy, go get a life. Nope. Nope. What is wrong with some of you people, man? I swear to God. Waiting room, share screen, chat, rename, unmute themselves. No, you cannot unmute yourself. Play enjoying sound. There we go. Will I let you in the mix? I don't know you. I'm not going to say I will let you in. But the way you've been talking over here, you're not a fit for the group. You sound very hostile towards women. And I haven't seen anything over here that really says why you would want to be in a group like this. The group is like, no, I mean, why do you want to be in that group? I mean, that's the real question. It's not for shit starting, and it's not for ranting. It's not a place to come over there and cause trouble. No, I got plenty of that over here. Plenty of that in YouTube. That's what you want to do? Cool. I want to hear from people I haven't heard from before. I don't want to hear from the same old folks all the time. Especially if you're a regular on people's channels and you always calling in, let other folks call in, man. Ava Rose, who? Ava Rose, you in here calling folks out again? The number, moderators. See, I will tell you this, dude. here's another thing, guys. You got to ask yourself a question. This woman said something. Is this the kind of woman you could qualify for? I mean, let's be real. She's not a bad looking woman. She's a 6. And when I hear guys talking about she's an adjustable 5, I gotta see, I have to look at you. I do not take men who do not show themselves in their avatar. I don't take anything you say about women seriously. So when I see men talking about she's an adjustable this and that, and I can't see you as a man and I don't know you, I'm like, bruh, you can't even probably get a woman at this level. So talking about she's an adjustable this, you take her. 90% of the guys, 90% of the people who run around these spaces would take her in a heartbeat. So knock it off. And also in my Facebook group, you have to state your age, because I don't want any underage bull crap going on. You have to current marital status, because this is not some place to come over there and tip out on your spouse. And then what you're looking for. And then you have to agree to the rules of the group. That's it. But you have to have an accurate profile picture. I don't want a picture of you back in high school from 20 years ago. And ladies, I need a picture of you too. Not just here. Not just here. I want waist up. Oh yes. Oh yes. If I just got this on you or this, it means you're hiding something. If you're a BBW, show it. See, this is a good faith group. I'm not allowing anybody to come over there and hide. If you want to be in a group, you're going to have to walk in a group full lights on you. And if that's not what you want to do, cool, find another one. What's on O'Shea? O'Shea, man, let me say something. Brother O'Shea. Brother O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. A lot of y'all thought I was on some bullshit when I made that video. Saying respect the birds of O'Shea Duke Jackson. Some of you guys disappeared. Disagreed. I care less. But the amount of content this man is putting out, he is changing the game over on the Manosphere side. I'm a Manosphere affiliate. He's the Manosphere OG. 2020, it would not surprise me if mainstream does not come looking for O'Shea. Now, especially shout out to something he said about Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh has jumped up from 100 some odd thousand to 400 plus thousand. He has 12,000 people looking at his live streams, and Young Pharaoh has some divisive content. What am I saying? That people are looking at black men online and looking for the next generation of black male media and influencers. You better take care of the ones you got while you can. And somebody else said something. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to put it in the comment section. You take care of the people who take care of you. I think it's insulting that there are women who make one video a month who have 2,600 patrons when you got a brother like O'Shea producing 2-3 videos a day. And he doesn't have 1,000. You've got to take care of the people who are representing for you. Oh, shit. Let's start from the top. We're going to do it one at a time. We got 7 people waiting. We're going to allow these 3 in first. And whoever gets in, gets in. The other 2 go into the chat room. Maria. You waited all that time just to get cut off. Jamie. I'm not playing with y'all. I've told you. If you have the YouTube playing in the background, I'm going to just drop you. Galaxy Note. Guest. Come on. Men will sleep with anything. No, broke men will. Not men of means, they won't. See, you tell on yourselves. Hold on, just a second. Stacy, here's what you do. Stacy, you come back over here and I'll let you talk. Like, I with all due respect, I can't allow anyone else to determine my worth but me. Well, you can believe that, but the world determines your worth. You don't have to sell it for that price, but if you could demand more and no one's going to pay it, doesn't matter if you say that's what it's worth. You can put whatever price you want on you. But if no one is willing to buy and complete the transaction, there you go. All right. Draco. I think I'm attractive. I only want the best. Get on the show. How about that? Get on the show. TLO. Hello?
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I am well. What's your what do I call you?
Tanya.
Tanya. What you got for me, Tanya?
So I was just gonna say.
Oh, you borged out. Tanya?
I'm sorry?
You borged out
Yes,
there
do you
for
hear
me. I can't now. You borged out. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is I'm 9 years older than B. Simone. I'm in the same situation, and but I don't feel as though you can still find love and still find a man that works a 9 to 5 job. I think she's focusing on the wrong things, you know. And in the end, it really depends on how is this person going to treat you? How is this person going to love you? I don't really think that. I think she's missing the point, but I think that comes with. I don't want to say immaturity, but she's not really cognizant of. Okay, well, what happens when you have children and all this other kind of stuff? You know, how is this person going to be? So I think you have to look at the characteristics and not the 9 to 5 job. So that's all I wanted to really say.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. So, I don't know what just happened with that. So, here we go. Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say, guys, is you got to stop. Older women, some of you older women need to stop trying to act like y'all don't know what time it is. I mean, if you're over 35, that's what today's video was supposed to be about. 35 and over women. The delusions of some 35 and over women. I mean, you talk like you own the world and you can demand whatever you want. And it's just not that way. It's just not that way. I mean, you can, I demand the best and I'm this and I'm that. Okay, right. Show me your wedding ring. That's really what it gets down to. Show me your wedding ring. All right. Show me your wedding ring. And if you don't have one, then don't tell me, well, I'm not married because I choose not to be. Right. I choose not to be married. Uh-huh. Right. But yet you choose to be over in this chat room every damn day fighting and arguing with people. Hello?
Hello, Kevin, can you hear me? Do I have echo?
No. I don't know if they can hear you yet, though.
All right. Hey, it's me, Chaos. Hey, the first time I listened to the B. Smith from your live stream, I could see why the so-called master are getting at it like that. But it's typical now.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, man. You guys are borging out. You guys are borging.
Oh, shit.
Hold on. Let me do this because you guys are borging over there. Can you guys hear him in the chat room? I'm gonna open this on another. No. Well, I'm gonna say it, Stacy. I'll let you come talk, but you say you're getting attacked. You're not a victim, sis. You're anything but a victim. You're an antagonizer. You come over here to antagonize people. I'll let you rock out because as long as you keep it respectful, but you get exactly what you came here to get. So yeah, you can knock that stuff off. Talk about you get attacked. Nope, you come over here acting a damn fool, talking crazy in a man's space. Talking crazy in a man's space. So you can't be upset when some folks end up being like, yeah, man, this chick is out of here. We're going to let me go ahead and just a second. Host. There we go. We're going to go ahead and drop that out. Yeah. I mean, I think it's, let me see. Let me get this back over here. Where'd it go? Hello? All right. Let's do that. Hello. There we go. Draco, go ahead and start your all right. We're letting people come in. Let's see. I don't hear this guy yet. Building the airplane while we're flying it, guys. So that's working. If you guys want to get on the channel, state your opinion, you're more than welcome to. RJ. Let's see. There we go. But I tell you one thing, I know. Let's see. I don't hear this guy yet.
Kevin?
Yes.
How's it
Hello?
going? Yes, I'm here.
Who is this?
RJ Ray.
What do you got for me, man?
I'm sorry, can you say it one more time?
What do you have for me? What's going on?
Kevin?
Yeah, I
nothing
can hear
like that
you.
bothers me because nothing of what she said bothers me because if you don't want to deal with someone like that, why even give that your energy? So my thing is I'm only going to deal with someone who matches my energy. And if that doesn't match my energy, I'm not going to deal with that. So I don't see the problem with that. That's her thing. But if
why do you think so many guys got mad?
Because you know why they got mad? Because this is my thing. If you're a dude who you work all your life and you can't be charismatic, you can't be just like that. You're working 9 to 5, but you might not be the person with all the. You know that a dude off the street who probably happened drug dealing, they can take your girl, and that's why a lot of people in these spaces just get so mad when they hear that other people who maybe don't have the same status can take their woman. But this is the thing. I heard you talk like maybe a year ago about, back in the day it was fighting and fucking, and that ain't changed. So it doesn't matter how much education, how much credentials you have, you still got to be a man at the end of the day.
Right. Well, I mean, go ahead. Appreciate you coming in and saying that, man. I want some of the ladies to get in too. Thanks,
you,
RJ.
Kevin.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, have a good one.
You too. See, here's what I think. Here's what I think happened. Thank you, Ava. I think the men that she was talking, I think that what she said, even as imperfect as she said it, she was clear. She said an entrepreneurial type man. What she was basically saying, I don't want a guy who's out there working at Walmart. I don't want a guy who is at the same position at a company 5 years later. That's what she basically said. The people who really got mad are the average guys. The C guys, the guys who got through school with a C. The guys who wanted to go to college but could not go to college because their academics did not get them a scholarship. And they did not want to go into debt to go to college because they knew they were going to just get a business management degree or something like that. And they knew they're not going to get out there and really work hard. See, the guys who got mad were the men who have no work to show. And they want the game to be played on easy. And this is why I think it's incumbent for men like yourselves who say, all right, whatever, your hypergamy doesn't touch my ambition, and you may be up on me right now, but I'm going to lap you in a minute. You don't sweat that kind of stuff, like the other caller said. I believe the guys who got mad are the guys who honestly are the lazy guys. The guys who want Instagram model beauty on $40,000 a year and want to use the facts, figures, statistics, and data to talk about the CDC and this and that, and talk about the average family in America only makes this. You know, the one who can quote the manosphere statistics like a mug. You got all the points, and every time a feminist will make a comment, you can roast her ass on the data. And then what? You're still a $40,000 a year dude. 40,000 to 40 years old, you still broke. You're still living life paycheck to paycheck, working 40 hours a week, not doing what you need to do, not trying to do the work. And you are mad because you look to your left or your right and you have nothing. Or what you do have, you don't want her. You have the woman you can afford. And that's what pissed a lot of dudes off. Pissed a lot of dudes off. All right, Jamie K. Where's she at?
Hello, my name's Jamie.
Jamie, what do you have for me on the subject?
Yes, I was just going to build on what you were saying about Jill Scott with her kind of outlook on kind of finding a man and what he should be doing. She obviously has this kind of quite a bad outlook on, in my opinion, of how looking at it is.
You're breaking up a little bit, but go ahead.
Sorry. And I was just from my own personal experience, because I'm white, so I'm not black, if that makes any difference. And I was talking to a white girl, and basically, like, her outlook is that she wants to have children, she wants to get married, and she wants to stay at home.
Okay.
And that's just a completely different. That's how it should be, isn't it? It's like, I don't think women, if you can provide for them, they shouldn't be having to be looking for those type of like how she's saying, like looking for rappers and drug dealers and stuff like that. That's not the sort of thing that she should be really saying to go and look for.
Well, no,
in my opinion.
No, and look, and thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it. See, here's the thing.
No,
you got to pick. Either you want the traditional gender roles or you want a new wave situation. But if you want a new wave situation, you can't ask for traditional gender roles. Why does it always come down to, oh, let me go ahead and help you out, dude. Let's go ahead and help this dude off the channel. Bye, boy. Get off my channel. When it comes right down to it, you can tell people who don't like the opposite sex. That's what it comes down to it. And it becomes very clear to people who don't like the opposite sex. But the problem is, for people who don't like the opposite sex, they always around them. And that's why I always start with the first thing. A lot of people need to go get their head right. Because you cannot make the world be what it is you want. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The people who don't like the opposite sex. But the problem is, for people in the background, like I'm not making any excuses for a commentary. Okay, let me unmute that. Hello? Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Kevin?
What's up, Chief? People like
all right. First, I think this is the first time I've ever called in. Decided to return the favor for the many times he called in over at my place, and I definitely will to have more to say about this coming weekend. But yeah, I think that I've gotten a lot of emails from guys wanting me to talk about this. As a lifelong blue collar guy, I have zero problems with B. Simone. That's her life, her business, whatever. But I did want to speak to why I think a number of brothers have a problem with it, and I have a bit of a novel take on this. I think it's what you said earlier. A lot of black women are delusional. They overshoot what they think their value is on the open market. If I'm just going to pull a name out of a hat. If Beyonce had said that, same thing, brothers wouldn't have a problem with it. Brothers would say, oh, okay, I can see that. Or if Megan Good said it, they'd be like, all right, I can see that. But the problem is, like as you pointed out, you have anywhere from, the thick of the bell curve type sisters, or they're, above average, but they're not straight on hot saying this type of stuff. And, for a very long time, black women have been able to get away with that. In part because, I'm just going to be brutally frank, there hasn't been any black manosphere pushback. Black men have never been, for whatever reason, black men have never had a kind of, coalesced, voice to speak back in response. I think the difference this time around is that we do have that. And I think that's really where this is coming from. Men of, white, black, whatever, we're put in our place by reality.
Right.
We may think that we're a king, for example. You can think you're a king, you can think you're a sovereign, but then you go out into the world and that proposition is put to the acid test. And, there are some men that do ascend to being a king, but there's a whole lot that don't. And that has a way of, humbling you. And, for a lot of women, they don't have that. They don't have that type of experience where, life kind of, as you like to play the sound effect of the smacking around, they don't get smacked around like that.
Right.
And as we continue to move on into this woke society, it only gets worse. Case in point is someone like Lizzo. The very fact that she can exist tells you something. If you think about the male equivalent of Lizzo, you laugh out of your seat.
Right.
So that kind of delusional mindset, and the other piece too, that's very important to connect to this. You mentioned it with B. Simone, but I would like to take it beyond that to basically the past month and a half of your live streams, which have been, legendary. I notice a pattern. And I noticed that all the ladies that call in that give you a lot of grief are, north of 35. Now, B.
Yes.
Simone is just getting ready to cross the Rubicon at 30. And I think that there has to be a different conversation. I've noticed that, for lack of a better way of putting this, black love conversations are always static.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like as if we're always back in 1998 Love Jones. I'm like, no, time moves on, especially for women. And I think the conversation needs to change about the older ladies. Look, this time in your life has passed. I think that's a big part of life. And again, men understand this more than women do. Acceptance.
Right.
You have to accept that this time in your life has passed. That's not to say that you can't have a sex life. That's not to say that somebody can't come along. But the way you going at it, that time is over. If I was to say anything to Ms. B. Simone at 30 years old with the kind of very tenuous situation that she's in, as you pointed out, being an influencer, she's only, one video or one tweet away from being canceled. This is what I would say to her. You need to take that money and bank it for your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start doing it now. You need to start looking at ways you can bank your money for your retirement now. Because it only goes downhill from here. The chances of getting the kind of guy you're talking about will dwindle with each passing year. That's the truth.
Well,
and I think that's where we have to go. Not you per se, not me. I'm just talking about the overall multi-decades conversation on this black love piece. Listen, ladies, over 35, you're going to have to accept some things.
Mm-hmm.
That time in your life has passed. You got to start talking about some other things about life.
Well, today's show was going to be me talking to, I haven't made it, I haven't talked about it in my group, The Mix, a discussion with mid-30s plus black women. Since there's a problem here. There's a real problem that I didn't go looking for, but you cannot overlook the sheer amount of acrimony, antagonization, just difficulty seeming to I called it a psychotic break the other day of just dealing with where a lot of these women are. And what I find is interesting is a lot of these women, if they were non-black, by the way they look, they should have already had a man. They should have already had a husband. There's no reason physically these women should be this far out of the situation. And but she B. Simone just kind of gave me a good lead in, and she just turned 30. And I'm like, wow. Her and Jill Scott and all this kind of stuff just came together to where it's going to have to be a different conversation, because what it cannot continue to be is I'm looking for this, and there are hundreds of thousands of millions of men out there. There never before was a manosphere or this amount of data and statistics showing that the numbers just say what you actually feel in with your gut is not right. Case in point. Juxtaposed to take another situation. Take about what's been in the spotlight here recently, police brutality. Things that people have often talked about. Never have you had this amount of just sheer raw footage to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And a conversation is going to start. Now, I'm going to push that completely way over here. The problem is not the men at this point. The problem is, what are you women wanting, and do you qualify to get what it is you say you want? And if you cannot get what it is you say you want, are you willing to go away? I mean, men have been told their entire lives that if you can't have this or that, cool, just live, but don't go kicking and screaming and setting the world on fire.
Yeah.
Men will typically be the hermits or weirdos or whatever and kind of go out in the woods and live by themselves. But no, that's not a woman's nature. It's a woman's nature to continue to push. And society can't handle that amount that amount of turmoil. But what else you have to say while we got on this subject? Because we got a lot of people in this shit.
Yeah. I don't want to take up the time. I just wanted to make that central point. I'll pick up on this over at my place on the weekend, Saturday morning podcast.
Sounds
Great
good.
job, man. Continue doing what you're doing. God bless you, St. Kevin. I really appreciate
put your chat, guys. Put Obsidian stuff in the chat room. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right, bye bye. I'm not gonna remove you in case you want to get back. I'm gonna drop you down to the waiting room. Okay, there are 1,200 people in here watching. I want to hear: is being fat a disability? If it's keeping you from it's a disability. It means an inability. Yeah, if it's keeping you from being married, it can be, I guess. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna let guys in one at a time. Remember, keep it brief. No life stories. Frank, man, you're up next. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat room. L Boy says I always push. Here's the thing. But at some point, at what age of life do a lot of you ladies realize you're going to have to start making some concessions? Not compromises, concessions. Guys, if you type in all caps, you're going to get timed out. I don't do the all caps thing over here. So if you get, the system is going to snipe you. We don't do all caps over here. So just write like you got some sense. And it'll be cool. Damn, can I make that mid-30s live stream? Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Hello?
Frank, man. Yeah, what's going on, man? Yes. What do you got for me on the topic?
How you doing?
What do you got for me on the topic, man?
This is... so I was just talking about the antagonism between black men and women. More specifically, the reason why these women can't find good men.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that, Frank, what do you have on the topic of B. Simone? Do you have
B. Simone?
Uh-huh.
She's not dealing with in reality. Her mind is in another plane.
Why is that?
Because statistically, what she's asking for is near impossible. See, people have to understand. Approximately only 17% of black men in the United States have a bachelor's degree. Okay? So by the time majority of these guys that have that bachelor's degree, a good portion of them are like foreign blacks. So, and then most of them tend to marry in their own groups anyway, like the Chinese and Jews and whatnot.
Do me a favor. Kind of get to the thesis of your point, man, because I feel like you're going to take it down a path of the acrimony between black men and black women. What is it you really want to say?
The thesis is if black women want to have better pickings and more luxury in terms of like the quality of men that they can be able to pick from, like Jewish women or Chinese women, then they have to put more work into raising black boys.
Okay.
You eat from your own garden.
Right.
A few of us will cross over, right?
Right.
A few of us will cross over. Whatever.
Okay.
But for the most part, we eat from our own garden.
All right. Thank you for your input. I know you were in the chat room. I wanted to go ahead and give you your own state, but I'm going to segue in that for a show for another day. Thanks, Frank, man. I've talked about needing the need for strong black boys to be raised into men. I get that. But right now, this is where it is. This the men and the women right now. Somebody asked, why does it always end up black men and black women? Well, look at the marital rate. Look at how, Stacey, you asked the question. You come in here antagonizing black men. I mean, it's almost hypocritical. It's like, for women who are unmarried and have no real prospects of being happily married, what are you gaining from all this digging your heels in, talking about what you won't accept? No one cares, sis. You're getting older. Your eggs are getting older. Family is out the door when you're past 37 years old. I mean, realistically, You're overplaying your hand, and that's why I said you're going to have to make not even compromises, concessions. Look it up. You're going to have to come to the table and concede some things. One, I am 37 years old. Therefore, I cannot give you 4 or 5 children. At best, you may get one out of me. That is a concession. I am 37 years old. I have lost my virginity at 18. That means I have almost 20 years in the sexual marketplace, and you've had multiple partners. That is a concession. I am X height, X weight. I've had these issues. The longer I've been around, the more mileage on any of our physical vehicles, there are problems. You don't put a 20-year vehicle on the market and expect brand new pricing. And so many of you ladies out there walk around as if you are still what you were when you were in your twinkling 20s and you're in your delusional 30s, early 40s. And this sis right here, she actually has a shot to actually manifest everything she wants if she can get more realistic about who she is, not what her bank account says, but who she is from an SMV standpoint, because men get to pick. Sarah, and then there's an Antonio. Sarah. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. What do you got for me?
Hi. I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm behind. Do you know what? There's a delay on my on from what I was watching, because I was watching your live, but I was like, I think there's like a 2-minute delay.
Yeah, you called into my show. Hi.
I did, yeah. I love your show. I love this. I love this conversation. Sorry, am I still live right now?
Yeah, you're still live. You're live.
Okay, so are you still talking about black women still having?
I'm talking about B. Simone and her not wanting a 9 to 5 man. That was the general topic. But what did you have that you wanted to actually input?
Gotcha. So, I mean, I think it kind of all rolls into one. And, I've seen a couple comments about women essentially having high standards, like women who are post 32, I think I've been seeing, or post 35.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm not really sure that's all it is. I think it's a little bit more complex than that. And there are a variety of issues as to why somebody can be single. And, I guess my point is, I think we all just need to recognize the variety of issues. And then I also did have a question directly for you.
Okay, well, let me say that. Are you married or are you single?
I'm
Hello? You broke up.
Single right now.
Huh? You broke up.
Can you hear me now?
You're going in and out. But what'd you say about your status?
I'm single right now.
Okay. So here's the problem. Here's the issue with that variety position, right? Anytime you have a conversation, you're going to have to make broad generalizations, and they're going to be generally true for the people you're talking about. There's always going to be individual circumstance. However, the older a woman tends to be, the less likely her chances are for successfully marrying, mating, and producing a family.
I agree.
All right. So when you're looking at and that's why the whole thing is, there's this thing called the wall. And it's a biological term. It has everything to do with a female's fertility. After age 35, medical science has said women go into what is considered high risk. Now, that may vary from individual to individual, but that's just what the current science is. Higher chances for babies with birth defects, Down syndrome, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, what most men look at is if a woman is attractive, 7, 8, or 9, and is in shape, especially if she's 8, 9, or 10 is a body. If she's unmarried and over 30. She has been approached by multiple suitable men, yet she has not chosen to settle down with one of these guys. It can't be a problem with the men at all the time. It has to come down to the person who's selecting these guys. Would you agree or disagree?
True. I do agree with you.
Okay. So that's why the whole thing about the over 30, that's the over 30, because it tends to become, see, when, and I'm just going to say this and I'll let you ask the question. When we're younger, life is always ahead of us. We're in our early 20s, but life for a woman really happens between 18 and 35. And the pressure for a woman to actually marry is really on, especially from 27 to 35. And if it hasn't happened, it's only natural for some women to be upset, saying, well, what's wrong? What happened? And that's this conversation playing out in real time. But what's your question? And I can get to it and you can get on to the other folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question really was, if a lady 32, just turned 32, like I've literally spent most of my life studying, really trying to get my own stuff together. I can't say I've always been in the position where I've been around high value men. So selection hasn't been around really. It's only really been around over the past 2 years. And, I'll just put it out there, I have no problem getting dates, like whether it's in real life.
Right.
And if I'm trying online dating, I just think, as somebody who has prioritized, really getting my own stuff together, and maybe later on, what I'm calling like a late bloomer, realize what my own priorities are in terms of, okay, look, I really want to settle down and have a real provider, and not have to do the type of work that I'm.
So what's your question?
I don't know. Like, would you call that an exception to the rule, or?
So you're 32?
What do you think about that?
You're 32. Okay. And from what you said, you have no problem getting a date.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is not uncommon for women 30 plus. The distinction comes in getting a high value man to commit to you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll answer your question. How tall are you?
5'6".
And are you what dress size are you?
5'4".
Okay, so if you're 5'6" and a dress size 4, and I think you mentioned that you are actually earning more now than you've ever earned. Did I mishear that?
Well, I didn't really mention earning more. I just mentioned doing more, like developing myself career-wise.
Okay. But you mentioned something about being around more of a selection of high-value men.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So now you're in. Yeah. So, and here's the thing. If you had been around that selection of men 10 years ago, how different would life have been?
I think it would have been a lot different.
And therein lies the rub. So therein lies the rub. See, you're 32, can realize that if I would have known what I knew 10 years ago, being around high value men at my height, body weight, and everything else, I would have had a much greater chance at actually landing this high value husband and going and checking out of the game and going off and forming my family and doing that thing. But because you came into the knowledge where you did, now you're older in the game. Okay. So the question is for women like you, let's just say I agree with everything you say. What age range do you typically date in?
Okay, and I'm so glad that you asked that, because that was going to be my next question. In terms
I'm good at what I do.
My chances, my logic would be, okay, well, for a 32-year-old woman, maybe if I'm serious about, really landing a high priority guy, a high integrity guy, it would be, I've got to be looking 55 and upwards,
Okay.
But
okay, is that what you date?
Truly,
is that what you date
get
though?
Along more. True.
Okay,
but
so
to answer your question, I've been dating more guys around my age group, so I would say between 36 and 40. But I have dated a guy like who was 50.
Okay, let me help you out. Okay, All right. It is unfair. I don't want to use the word. It is impractical to expect a man of 36 to be able to have to a man 36 really would do better with a woman 23 to 25, because there's enough age range between them two, to those two, to where he can actually teach her some things and she can learn from him. Number one. And number two, she won't look at him as a peer. A 36-year-old man you look at as a peer, and he has had the same amount. His career profession is roughly you are. So unless he's an exceptional 36-year-old, you're roughly in the same ballpark as far as education and earning, but you want him to be where the 50-year-old guys are. So so if you really want a high value man, as you say, and what that really means is a guy who can provide you a standard of living to where you don't have to work again after you get pregnant. So he can be a stay-at-home wife and drive a four-door foreign car and all that other kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about. Yes.
Right.
Right. Let's get to those are the guys I call the Henrys. They're in the top 5% of men, guys in this country who make around $300,000 a year. I don't judge it. Yeah, you're going to be looking for guys at least 45.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so dating guys 36 and that kind of stuff is wasting your time. If you're serious,
Exactly.
this is the conversation tomorrow. Ladies, if you want what it is you say you want, you got to do what it takes to get it. You can't play around. Meaning, if you really want to be married, you either date guys who are in that group or nothing. Nothing is better. Right. 0 or nothing. No, well, he's 36 and kind of hot, nice package. 0. That would be my suggestion if you were. That would be my suggestion, because you don't want to add any more mess to this. And guys who are serious about finding a wife, they move differently than guys who are just looking at, I'm 36, you're 32, let's hook up and have sex, and then that's a whole different game.
Right.
Call in tomorrow though.
That's yeah. Oh, I definitely will. Sorry, can I just ask you one more question?
Sure, go ahead. Make it quick.
Is it like, would you say a guy in his mid-50s now would still be looking at, would still prioritize, let's say, 25-year-olds over a 33, 32-year-old?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't. I would not say that that's going to be for every guy. Honestly, guys in their mid-50s, you're looking at reasonably childbearing years, so 27 to 35. Guys, those ages typically aren't looking for 22-year-olds, because they've been to the. If a guy at that age is looking, he's looking for a reason, and he's looking for a woman to have his children and to wife. And it is that 5 to 7 years can make a huge difference. But if you are the 32 competing against the 25-year-old, you better give me 7 years plus of difference between her hotness. She's got 7 more years of hotness. You better give me 10 more years of cooperation, submission, and intangible benefits that her hotness can't overcome. Because if it comes down to a straight hotness match, you always lose to a younger woman.
That's true.
That's how men think. It ain't pretty, but it is it. Okay? Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Ask who's that? Ask, how are you? I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
All right. Kevin.
Yeah, what do you got? What's your first name?
Oh, well, first name is different than my handle, but my first name is Daryl.
What do you got for me on the subject?
Okay, for the subject, I wanted to know where the disconnect was coming from with what B. Simone said about her wanting an entrepreneur as it relates to them having free time, and as it relates to their schedules, a man that would understand her entrepreneurial schedule. If me gathering from what she said, that's what she really meant. Now, when it comes to her wanting a drug dealer, again, she's an entertainer. She's
Mm-hmm.
in that the type of millionaires that she's around currently are going to be those ball players.
I think what she's saying, I think what basically what's the disconnect is when you're an entrepreneur, do you own your own business?
I do.
Okay. Have you ever worked for anybody else?
I have.
So you understand those are very different worlds.
Yes.
Very different pressures. And as a man, if you imagine as a man, if you were looking to find a wife while you were transitioning from a paycheck to the uncertainty of owning your own business, you're asking someone to come along with you when they're not getting a check every 2 weeks. It requires a different mindset. And it requires you being a different mindset, but it also requires a wife or a woman understanding that, right?
Yes.
Okay, same thing what she was saying. A person who's an entrepreneur does not move the same way that someone who's collecting that's working for a check moves. That's what she was ultimately trying to say, but she was very poor. She said it in a very poor way.
She did, and the question I have is, do you think that she could find the type of entrepreneur that she's looking for based on what she said, and only what she said? Even though you could look at her career and look at her.
Yes.
Yes. She can find what she's looking for. So I don't understand why everybody is so upset about what she said. She's not the typical millionaire. She's not the typical female.
I say the people who are upset as far as the guys is because, like I said, I don't know if you caught my show earlier when I said guys who knew they're going to just be average. They chose to be average. The C students. Those guys are probably the ones that are making the most noise. Because the woman is not an unattractive. She's a cute woman. She's physically appealing. She's a little thicker for my taste, but still, she can find it, and she's 30. So yeah, she can find it. Make no mistake.
Pudgy, but people are upset because she's pudgy. They think that she can't be picky, and I don't agree with that.
And that's why I started off. I said she can choose whatever she chooses. However, I will say this: the more. I think what also happened, man, there's a lot of videos that have been floating around in this space. Women talk about, I want a man with fast money and this and that. There was one short-haired woman with the.
I'm so glad you said that. You said it. I think that adds in.
Yeah.
Into it. That's another reason because that.
You're borging.
Discussion with that. I can't remember what the sister's name is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, I can't remember what the sister's name is, but she said something similar, and then there was a lot of brouhaha about that, and that's kind of carrying over into this conversation.
Hello? Yeah, you still kind of borging. So, brother, you're right. I don't know what happened. You kind of borging, but see, the previous conversation where that chick that looked like she was Trina 2.0, talk about I need a dude that's making fast money, and if I need 50 stacks right now, you can go get it and blah, blah, blah. See, a lot of guys got ticked off that a woman that looked like her would have the nerve to come out of her mouth like that. But guys, I need you to back up. You can't be hypocritical. There are a lot of women who say, how can you have a guy like this want that? Now, the way she was like, I can't have no 9-to-5 dude or no corporate dude or whatever. But the fact of the matter is she could never get one anyway. That woman talking about she need 50 grand, all she can get is from dudes like that. She does not have the sophistication to be on a Blake Henry's arm. Make no, you're gonna take her to the company Christmas party, please. Now, B. Simone, she can win. Make no mistake, B. Simone can win, or she can lose. But she's more likely to win because what I think happens for most influencers, this is the difference about being an influencer and being than anything else I've ever done. As an influencer, you get immediate real world feedback, and you have to when you see somebody that's about to get canceled, going from 1 million back to nobody. No, that's why you see Snoop Dogg did what he did with Gayle King. She is looking at all of this stuff. And if you don't think that she's made a beeline over to the black manosphere to hear what the big three people have had to say about it, you're kidding yourself. Now, how will she adjust and move going forward? it was a little tone deaf, but she's not wrong for what it is she wants. I think everybody at the end of the day, the guys who understand it just said you're shooting a little bit higher than your S&V. I don't think she's going to take a major L, man. I don't believe so. Let me tell you why she's not going to take a major L. Because y'all not going to like what I'm about to say. Let me tell you why she's not going to take a major L. Because black men, you ain't paying her bills. Black men, you ain't supporting her. You didn't make B. Simone who she was. Black women did. You can't make anybody take an L. You can't cancel anybody you're not paying. And this is one of the problems that I said this on my Instagram the other day. Men need to stop complaining impotently. Stop complaining impotently. Complaining with no power is bitching. See, talking about she's going to get canceled, all B. Simone has to do is look back at her sales of her books and her products. And if she keeps accurate data, she can look and see that 78% of my revenue comes from women. She ain't worried about you. I mean, it's something to be talked about and discussed and, approach it from a brand strategy. But unless men or the offended men are 80% of her revenue, don't overshoot your hand thinking you got that much sway on her. You got that all twisted up. I mean, the woman is a bona fide millionaire and an influencer. What she said was not draggable. It was just, that's the problem with going live, man. This is why going live is always a risk, and you would do well to understand when you click that button, it is what it is. So, yeah. Maybe she'll still get King Latifah ball on it. Yeah. See, the number to call in, moderators, can you put in? Will she find a high value man though? Sure. Let me tell you why she can find a high value man. Because she's hot right now. She's buzzing. Hold on. Let me tell you why she can find a high value man right now. All publicity is good publicity. Her name is on Twitter. It's circulating. How many of you guys never knew what B. Simone was? I've heard her name, but I really didn't know her until today. And I looked at her. I guarantee you there's some high value man sitting around saying, man, whatever. Oh, I like him thick like that. I guarantee you there's some high value man sit back saying, man, whatever. Fuck all that shit you talking about. Come over here, shorty. Let me show you how this is really done. Guaranteed. There's somebody out here, high value, who would get with a B. Simone. So don't be surprised if it turns around. Guys, again, if you know guys in that 7-figure plus range, we make the mistake, and because I work with a lot of those guys, they don't move like middle class people. I'll put it that way. I'm asking you to unmute.
Yep, I'm here.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
What's your first name?
Antoine out of Philly.
What do you got for me, Antoine, out of Philly?
So my question is, I'm one of those driven entrepreneurial guys that B. Simone is talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
But the dilemma that I'm having, I work a 9 to 5 and I also have a side business. I make more in my side business than my 9 to 5, but I don't really have the time to date, right? So how would a woman like her even find me? Because I'm always working.
Okay. So you make more in your side business than in your day business?
Yep. I'll put the numbers out. With my finance job, I made $50K a year. And then with because I close loans, right? I work for all the title companies in there, and I make like $8K a month doing that, right? So even like giving a woman, I'm 23, right? Giving woman the attention that they probably would need from me is kind of out of the picture.
Okay.
So I feel like she's asking for a
Hold
guy.
on. So you make 50 in your day job and then 8K a month in your side job?
Exactly.
So that's like 96 a year. So you make 140.
Well, I'm listening.
Is that right? 50
Around
and
that. Well, with the side income, like last month I did 64 signings. That's about 8K, but it can fluctuate. But it's around 8K on average,
all right.
give
So
or
you're
take
making
out of the
around
budget.
100. So you're making around $150,000 a year.
Exactly. I'm on track to.
Oh, okay. So, all due respect, she's not talking about you.
Okay.
She's a millionaire. She makes 10 times what you make. She's not looking for you.
Got you.
Now, you're 23, and that's no knock. But I would say this: if you're making that kind of money in your side job, that needs to be your full-time job. Leave the day job alone. That would be my suggestion. Thanks for calling in, though.
Got you. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, guys, this is what I mean. We can't. This is where we're the rational ones, the logical ones. If you're not 750 to 1.5 annual, you're not in this conversation for her. Not from a money standpoint. Just from a purely money standpoint. Which is why you tend to see a lot of Instagram. I don't want to say Instagram. That's why you tend to see a lot of. Let's go back to high fashion models or that kind of stuff. Why you tend to see a lot of models get with a lot of, business people, is because they are. It's really difficult for somebody who's making that kind of money to relate to somebody who has to work like. Let's say a young man, he's working 60 plus hours. We got a different conversation over here. He's having to put those hours in. She's worked this, what work looked like to be Simone? Click, click. Click. Upload. Okay. Airbrush app. Okay. Send us off to the editor. Hey, love. Nice to see you. Tweet. IG Live, what's going on? And buy my new book. Link in the description. Link. Patreon, what's up? Oh, like the Cash App. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, love. $6,000. Understand what $1 million? $1 million. And if you have a 2,000-hour work week, how much is $1 million a year? It's $500 an hour, right? Is my math right? Somebody check me. $1 million. $1 million is 2,000 hours. $500 an hour. She's making $500 an hour. And she's not having to go to she gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And by the time 5 o'clock rolls around, she's made $2,500 for just being B. Simone. Your world and her world don't intersect because her money comes differently. That's why I say some guys, we don't need to get upset because she's living a different lifestyle. And that's what she was trying to, I think that's what her point she was trying to communicate. I need somebody to understand that my money does not come in a traditional 9-to-5 way. And for me to give this up, you got to make more than me because hypergamy. I get that. However, women that look like B. Simone, you can't demand hypergamy because hypergamy says you want a man who's a 7-figure dude, but 7-figure dudes don't want women who are 6s. All right, so I'm gonna get up out of here. We've got a couple more people in here. Let me get in. And Antonio, you're in here. Well, let me go ahead and try to admit you too. Antonio, what's going on, man?
Hey, Kevin Samuels.
What do you got for?
Just want to say a real quick thing.
What do you got for me on the topic?
Now, I just seem to agree with you saying that B. Simone, she need to realize what she's doing. And what she's doing is she's just talking air. She's not really putting in the work. She's just all talk. So she didn't realize that in order to be where she wanted to be at, she really got to look outside herself, her community. She might have go outside her environment. And I believe that by doing that, she can realize the reason why she's stuck who she surrounds her. So she might have changed her circle.
Hey,
Or she watches and daily
hey,
might have her
Antonio,
bullshit.
you're kind of borging too there, man. I don't know if your connection is strong enough, but I got the general position that some people say she's just talking, and if she is, good for her, because I guarantee you this: she got subs and she got views off of this stuff. Because if you look at what she said, it wasn't horrible. It was a good conversation to have. All right, I'm gonna get one more person, and I'm gonna get up out of her.
You kind of working too there, man. I don't know if your connection is.
All right, you got me going on in the background, so I don't know why that keeps happening. But here's the net of it. I'm looking to see if there's any questions in the comment section. I know a lot of you guys. You better realize there's gonna be more women coming over here, and ladies, you're gonna have to understand. Don't antagonize one another. I saw ladies on the show that look better than Simone. Yeah, but understand something. Let me go ahead and say something from her standpoint. Men of means, high value men, have a standard of beauty that they look for with women, but it's not the only thing. Make no mistake, there are men who would say, I will take a Simone versus the more attractive one. If the more it's about looks, it's also about femininity and cooperation. I've said it before, men will go down in looks to go up in cooperation and submission. So good thing. Thank you guys for showing up tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. If you're over 35, if you're over 33, you need to be in the show tomorrow. If a woman over 33, be around tomorrow, because I don't hear any of the female influencers having this conversation with women. What's next? What I hear people telling women is you can have it all. And if the world ain't working right, girl, there's something wrong with him. And I think people who keep telling women that are doing harming women in a way that they can't forecast. My generation X, I think history is going to look back and say one of the greatest harms, one of the greatest lies ever perpetrated against a group of people is going to be what feminism has did to women of the West, black women in particular. The world is not meant for us to be single in our 40s and 50s. And I was just having this conversation earlier today. With everything that's going on, we have only scratched the surface of what's happened since the CV. How many of you people have gone back out into the world and seen who's working? That 3, 4, 5 million people on unemployment, while, we've lost sight, there are a lot of people who don't have a job right now. And we're just kind of expecting things to go back to normal. And no, the largest employers of women, federal government and retail, or governments and retail. When governments are having to cut back because of the tax base and retail is having to downside, we have 26 retail space for every person in this country. The next largest developed country has 6 feet. We got too many malls, too many people working in retail. Why am I saying all this? Because the world in general, this country in particular, has become is okay. They don't like it, but we're okay with seeing homeless men. Listen to what I'm about to say. We are okay with seeing homeless men. Okay? But what we are not okay seeing homeless women. Name me a world, a first world country, where you have seen tent cities of homeless women. I'm not even talking about others. I'm talking about homeless women. Because you look on YouTube, you can see this guy went from banker to being homeless. Homelessness can happen. And what happens when you're 40 years old, you have no husband, your parents have passed on, you have no siblings, or you have all females? What happens when your job you had at Nordstrom that you worked for some 15 years or 20 years and you're a store manager or an assistant manager, all of a sudden goes away and all you had was 2 years of salary saved up and it's maybe $30,000-$40,000 in a 401k. You were effectively living paycheck to paycheck, but you assumed you had another 25 years of working. Next thing you know, that job is gone and you have no real world market skills to go out and make that $25, $30 an hour you were making as an assistant manager or a manager at Nordstrom or Neiman's. That's gone. Where are these women going to go work to make that kind of money? What happens to the houses? Anything? They can't keep the housing. So you got to move downsize the house. Who gives you a new home without an income? So people going from houses to apartments. This is how homelessness happens. All it takes is one illness. And all the less than $100,000 you have between all of your financial instruments, gone. Who is willing to let your Aunt Betty come stay with you? And even if Aunt Betty gets in, what about Aunt Carol? Aunt June? There's not enough space. See, men get turned out onto the streets. There are no shelters for women. My point is, ladies, this whole dying by yourself, you talk about it like you can handle it like a man. No, you can't. Because there's nothing more vulnerable than a woman living on the streets by herself. You can't fight off anybody. You can't keep anything. Women on the streets have to find men on the streets to protect them. That's why I was telling the caller yesterday, we are not equals. We are superior because you need us to protect you. Now, if that may sound like a doomsday scenario, keep playing. But that's what you're playing with. Living and dying by yourself because you think you deserve the best. When Rebecca Lynn Pope then told you, you wouldn't even accept my husband and I'm better than you. Let me go ahead and cook up something real quick. Well, a lot of you ladies get this whole notion that you so damn fly, that you deserve all this. Why? Because I've seen some of the avatars. You're cute, but you ain't fall out fine. And your cute ass has never been able to secure a high value man to this point. You've just gotten older. You better start getting real. Seriously. The delusion a lot of women run around with who are in their mid-30s is astounding. And the condescending, foolish way, especially many you women talk about black men, is going to be your downfall. And you go ahead and look at the content creators who make that content, who feed you. Yeah, look at these dusty, broke beta male, this and that. Okay. All right. 33 becomes 40. Just like that. And all that talking has not got you a husband. Smart women understand that either they are going to provide like a man does long term, or You decide smart women go get a husband. That's what smart women do. In my opinion, smart women go get a high value husband. Because when you out here trying to compete against high value men, we ain't gonna let you win. We're gonna beat you down. We're gonna grind you up in the bones. Because that's what we do with each other. I'm not gonna let you have nothing. You have to earn everything you get. And you're not built for like man built this world. And he built it for himself. He didn't build it to hand it off to you. So all this, I am woman, I need this, and that, that's cool. But you need to ask yourself one question. Has the world told you, have the men of the world told you that you are fine enough to demand your price? I don't care what you think about yourself. Have the men of the world that you want told you in particular that you are attractive enough to demand the price that you are asking? It's crazy because men die alone more, especially because they want to bandage. But see, at least men have the decency to go ahead and go on about their business. Women don't. Women go kicking and screaming and tearing up shit. I listen to some of the stuff come out. Men do this, men do that. Drama free life. You can't live in this world without men. We allow you to exist. Men allow all of you feminist minded women to exist. The reason a lot of you women can say a lot of the silly shit you come around here saying is because men has civilized the world enough to allow you to say that stuff and keep the teeth in your mouth. I said it. Mankind has civilized the world enough to allow you to say the silly stuff you say and keep the teeth in your mouth. Go try that over in the Middle East. Go over there with your strong, independent feminists. Go over in the Middle East or go over there into these truly patriarchal countries and see what happened to you. We birth you. Why do Ava? Why do women act like because you have the ability to birth a life that we create, that we give spark to? Why does that make you special? Why is that supposed to mean something? You didn't birth me. If anything, you birthed your children. Your ability to drop a kid out of your vagina, out of your uterus, just makes you a female. You do what any other mammal on this planet can do. You do what any other female of the species do. But unlike other females, you want a crown on your head because you actually have a functioning uterus. No, sis, it doesn't work that way. You get no points for having a functioning reproductive system. 0. You get 0 points for having a functioning reproductive system. 0. And how come the women who have the least children want to run around and talk about that? How many children do you have, Ava Rose? Because you can't have many, because you're in here all the time talking this feminist stuff. Because look at what she's saying. You do what any other man does. No, babe. I do much better than any other man does. I can buy and sell your ass. I get you to come over here and watch me every day. I command more attention in your life than any other man does. So respect the gangster. You know, you may just go ahead and slow that stuff down. You bring yourself over here every day to perch up to hear what daddy has to tell you. What daddy gonna tell me today? Ooh, give me some male attention. Daddy, what you gonna tell me today? And I'm gonna go get all the male attention that I could never get in my day-to-day life. I'm gonna get it over here. But guess what? When I turn this off, my life is still lovely. Yours is empty as And here comes Stacey on with that stupid shit too. Y'all couldn't be here if women didn't birth you. And you couldn't be here if your dad hadn't nutted in your mama. We created you. We gave the spark of life. You did nothing but, you are nothing but an oven. What you do is not special. You don't have the spark. You cannot make life without us. Let's go ahead and cook about it. Yeah, you can't do nothing without a man. You can't even live without a man. If a caveman booped you upside your head and shot the spark of life into you, what's more vulnerable than a pregnant woman? Oh, I'm sick. Oh, go out and hunt the rabbits and the mastodon and feed me. Oh, third trimester. Oh, I can't even move. You gonna hunt for food? Really? Let's hunt. Let's talk about it. Since birth makes you so special. Okay, you carry around a life that we shot into you. You can't even afford. You can't even put the food on your table to make sure you live long enough to have that life erupt from you. And during the last trimester, you're the most vulnerable and you're huge and everything else. And we got to do everything. Okay, but then after that's done, you know what you can't do? Divine woman that wants to put this role up here, and I'm playing it the way you want to. Name me what a mother can do while she has a breastfeeding child. Can you get out and hunt with the infant on the breast? No. You out there looking for the prey, and the baby starts crying. There go the prey running away. There go the food running away. You can't and even if the prey is laying, you can't just lay the baby down, because guess what? Other ones were like, as soon as she goes over there, we're gonna have baby snack. See, guys, when women say stuff like these women are saying, I laugh at them, because I'm like, mankind has done this job so well, it allows you women to say foolishness and actually think it's something special. See, what they're really telling me is that man has done this job enough to where they can come in here and talk silly. And we've made that happen. Mankind has made it to where you can come in here and just say whatever. You're welcome. You are welcome, Stacey Ann. You're welcome, Ava. You're welcome. Any of you other feminist leaning kind of women, you're welcome. You are welcome. You're welcome. When you go turn on the electricity, you're welcome. We made that. When you turn on the water, you're welcome. You made that. When you turn on the air or the heat, you're welcome. When you open your refrigerator and there's a light in there, you're welcome. When you see there's food in there, you're welcome. Everything you do in this world is to take. You don't produce anything other than the child we put in you. Everything else is consumption from you. We create. You're welcome. If you had to walk around saying thank you to a man for everything in this world he's created that you take advantage of, you would run out of spit. You'd run out of spit. How many times you said thank you today? Oh, shit, I can't get out of the house, girl. Why? Well, let me see. I wake up in the morning and I walk across the floor. Oh, you mean the carpeted floor or the hardwood floor? You mean it's not dirt? You're welcome. You can't even get out the bed. Oop, sorry. You're welcome. You're welcome for the bed. You're welcome for the sheets. You're welcome for the pillow. You're welcome for the pillowcase. You're welcome for the four walls, the roof, the window. You're welcome for the ceiling fan. You're welcome for all that. And you walk across the floor and you go into the bathroom and you sit on the toilet. You mean you're not just taking a dump or a pee right there, and you sit on a porcelain toilet? You're welcome for porcelain. You're welcome for that. You're welcome for the toilet lever. You're welcome. You're welcome for the water that flows in. You're welcome for the little toilet blue bowl thing. You're welcome. You are welcome for the toilet paper in which you wipe your divine ass with. You're welcome. Whether it's 1-ply or 2-ply, you're welcome. You mean you just use leaves or sticks, not your hand? You're welcome. You are so welcome. And you take all of that for granted because you pay somebody's rent. But man made it. Tell me the women that made it. You're welcome. Then you stammer over to the sink. You're welcome. Whether it's porcelain or whether it's stainless steel, you're still welcome. And you look at yourself in the mirror because there's no husband. You're welcome because we made that. And by this time, you've probably turned on the light, unless you have natural lighting in my bathroom every day. You're welcome. Then you turn on the running water into the fixtures. You're welcome. Because there's hot water, you're welcome. Cold water, you're welcome. Nozzles, you're welcome. Piping, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Okay. Then you go and get you a cup or something. You're welcome. Because you didn't have to do this. You're welcome. Oh, you're also welcome for the filtration system. We're not even going to get outside the house. What it took to get that clean water to you, you're welcome. You're welcome. Then you get your toothbrush, you're welcome. And whether you use baking soda or water or not, or toothpaste, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And if you're using an electric toothbrush, you're even welcome. You have said thank you to a man almost 100 times before you even brush your teeth. You're welcome. You're welcome. And she's saying, what is her thing? What is she? I look up and she says, I stay wet though. You want to fight, babe? I stay wet. That's all you have to bring to the table. A wet hole. That's good. But don't act like it's special. It ain't. It's not. What we do is special. What you do is biological. I mean, make them think about it. Think how many times I got to say, well, thank you to man. Thank you. Thank you. And because mankind has civilized the world enough to where you got these prefabricated homes, this construction, that all you got to do is spend this construct called money. You think you don't need men? Oh, yeah, you need us more than you know. But anywho, now, why did I go down that long explanation? To show you how insignificant the stuff you ladies like to talk about. We birth you. You ain't birthed me. And a lot of you women don't have any children. So you can't even play that card. And the only person you can play that card with is your kid. You want credit for something you ain't done. But you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. That was on her left and right cheek. You're welcome. And I would say this. Black women, please stop trying to get credit for average shit. I mean, they want credit for average shit. This is why, like it or not, I'm not going to go down that path. See, Becky knows how to say thank you. So does Marisol, so does Mylene, so does Anu. They know how to say thank you. They are more than happy to say thank you. And this is why tomorrow we're going to talk about 33 plus year old Black women and marriage in the Black community, and look at the facts, the data, and statistics. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty when you start looking at the marital rates of it ain't pretty. It is about B. Simone. You missed it. You missed the first part. But look, man, that last 30 minutes was a digression. B. Simone has the right to demand whatever she wants. And I actually think B. Simone can win. She is funny. I give her she's funny. She'd be probably a trip to hang out with. And you can call her whatever you want, but what you cannot call her is not successful on paper. And she does not seem to me to be so far gone that she can't be reasoned with. I mean, I take what she was saying with a grain of salt. She is a comedian after all. I would not be surprised if B. Simone is getting engaged or getting married inside a year. Somebody gonna wife B. Simone. She does not strike me as the kind of woman that's gonna double and triple down and come back and say, y'all can kiss my blah, blah, blah. Nah. She gonna be just fine. So shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. It's been good. It's been great. We love y'all ladies. Y'all know y'all love us. They know they love. They're like, dang, I can't stand them. I hate when they say you're welcome, but you are. Till next time, ladies. Peace. We are gone. You're welcome. Shout out to Stacy on. Shout out to Ava Rose. Keeping all that trolling going on. Y'all know, them women love them some black men. They can't get enough of it. They're like, ooh, I can't stand all that sexual chocolate over there. Ooh, he make me sick. Boy, if I could get within 20 feet of him, woo! It's all good. L. Boyd, are you a male or female? I don't know. I can't tell from genders sometimes. Let me know in the comment section. Support me on Patreon, people. Every Monday, 6:30 East Standard Time, Patreon only stream. Check me out on IG. Every day I go live on IG in the frat room. For interview requests, that kind of stuff. Business only. Peace out. Play safe. Be nice. Good night.